And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. The upcoming Pop Culture Cosmos is the PCC Multiverse. That'll be dropped on Friday for audio listeners, whereas the guys from the Super BS Gamescast and I will be talking about Oblivion Remastered. Of course, also as well, Expedition 33. Go ahead, those two big hit games. Going to go ahead and talk about that. There's also some Nintendo Switch stuff as well, so go ahead and check that out wherever you get your podcasts. Hopefully you got a chance to check out the game with us on playback.tv, so that's Lakers Fast Break. So before all the nastiness comes in and all the trolls come in, I want to thank everybody for a season with us here at playback.tv, so that's Lakers Fast Break. And of course, also as well right here on YouTube. We'll provide content throughout the summer, so stay in tune with us. So before, again, all the haters and all the idiots come back online, and in case if you want to talk smack, in a lot of cases, you guys are probably going to be right. So you know what? The Lakers didn't get it done. A lot of issues, a lot of blame to go around. No complaining here on, Lakers just lost the game. So I will say again, when it comes right down to it, I want to thank everybody for stopping by over the course of this season. And please stay tuned with us. If you like Lakers content and NBA content, stay with us right here at the Lakers Fast Break and the Lakers Fast Break podcast. So thank you again for joining us right here. Indeed. It is, of course, Gerald Glassford. Truly appreciate it. Before the guys come on, they're all coming over here, sure, in just a second. I'm sure you'll get John. I'm sure we'll get Joe. I'm sure we'll get hopefully Sean as well. The Lakers came in with a must-win situation with the season on the line, backs up against the wall, facing elimination, whatever vernacular you want to use. And the Lakers decided to go ahead and go small from the get-go, not putting Jackson Hayes in there, their only individual of size. Maxi Kleber showed up today, final game of the season. Really setting him out there at this point in time. I don't know what you're going to get. I don't know what you're going to ask for, but Jackson Hayes went from the top of the floors to the bottom of the floor because he didn't even get an opportunity. And seeing that, Minnesota was able to go ahead, despite a day where they shot only 14.9% from three. Didn't matter because Rudy Gobert was eating up the Lakers inside with 24 rebounds, 9 of which was on the offensive end. 27 points, 24 rebounds for Rudy. And even though Anthony Edwards only gave them 15 on a game where Anthony Edwards was 0 of 11 from 3, on a day where Jaden McDaniels was only 8 points and Julius Randle was okay. He started to go ahead and closed out late, which the Lakers didn't. Dante DiVincenzo was 2 of 12 from 3. Nickeil Alexander-Walker was 2 of 9 from 3. The Lakers had a golden opportunity to go ahead and get back in the series and didn't get it done. Luka, close to the end of the first half, I got a hard foul from Dante DiVincenzo that really spurred on some back issues, but still, second half, really didn't get it done for the Lakers. Neither did LeBron. And unfortunately, even though the Lakers got back into the game, took a lead, did not take control in that fourth quarter. 16 points in that fourth quarter for the Lakers as the Lakers lose 103-96, ending their season, a season of promise. Started out with a season, what was going to be happening for the Lakers down the road, getting the boost with Luka Doncic coming into the scene, and unfortunately not able to get it done and ending on a bad note for the Lakers. So we'll see what happens. A lot of changes, I think, need to be made in the offseason. And so that's why we're going to make sure that we're here for you during the offseason to go ahead and make sure we got that covered for you. And the guys should be here in just a few minutes, so hopefully you'll stay with us. No complaining. It was Luka didn't get it done. Back issues and all, the Lakers tumor didn't get it done. Luka didn't get it done. LeBron didn't get it done. The team didn't get it done. Rui was the only one that was able to go ahead and have any type of effectiveness out there on both ends of the floor. But that wasn't enough. We needed more, and we just didn't get it when the Lakers lose 103-96. So you guys, you haters, you complainers out there, I'm not going to respond to you for the rest of the chat. You guys could go ahead and do what you want in the chat as far as complain. If I don't like it, I'll just ban you. But I'm probably going to keep you guys here unless you guys get really violent, really, I guess, really abusive. But if you just go ahead here just to laugh at us and troll us, it is what it is. I'm just ignoring you guys. I'm just going to go ahead and talk to the normal people on the chat. But here today to go ahead and talk about today's game, guy who also has his playback channel, playback.tv/Lakers Corner. Also saw Lakers Corner and Clutch Talk on YouTube. It is John Costa. John, the season has come to an end. I know a lot of our frustration was the fact that Rudy Gobert was the reason why we lost today. It wasn't because of Jaden McDaniels. It wasn't really at the end. You could say a little bit of Randall, but you could also say it wasn't Edwards. It wasn't DiVincenzo. It wasn't Nasreen. In the end, Rudy Gobert, of all people, a guy who's been played off the floor on several occasions in the playoffs, he was the key difference. He was the key factor for Minnesota. And you got to give credit to Minnesota. They move on to the second round, John.
Man, all I can do is give him credit at this point. I said this on my playback. I said, look, if Minnesota is going to beat us with Rudy Gobert.
I'll just say this. Hold on real quick. Rodell, I can say what I want. It's my channel. I run it. So you're going to have to hear it. You're going to have to see it. And you're going to have to like it. It's just that simple, Rodell. You have no credibility with us. And there you go. Again, you're going to be one of those haters that we're just going to ignore for the rest of the show. So enjoy, sit back, grab a cold one, and just sit back because we're not going to acknowledge you the rest of the show. Go ahead, John.
Nah, man, I was just going to say, as in a sense of like, man, if this is how Minnesota is going to beat us with Rudy Gobert making us pay, then God damn it, man, they earned it. They earned it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Intel Wild. But they earned it, man.
Wild. Yeah, they earned it. They played better than the Lakers. Down the stretch, they played better. You have Luke and LeBron. I know Joe's talked about their closing, and they just didn't get it done, both on the offensive and defensive end, John.
I made a video, Gerald, talking about, the Lakers' biggest, problems, in my opinion, right? And I talked about how we've been getting outscored, and we haven't been able to close quarters, right? So it was in that game 3 that we got outscored 13-1 in the last 4 minutes. Game 4, we got outscored 19-9 in the last 4 minutes. And then now in today's game, we got outscored 16-8. So it's just like in crunch time, we just can't get it done. Can't get it done. But what I will say is a lot of people are saying, JJ Redick needs to be fired. Like, I absolutely disagree. Like, JJ Redick should not be fired.
He won't be fired. Doesn't matter. You can scream all you want. They signed him to a contract, a 5-year contract or a 4-year contract, what have you. He's here for a while, guys. He is going to get a long leeway from the Lakers unless Luka doesn't like him as a coach, John. It's just that simple. Whether you like him or don't like it, it doesn't matter. The team did not like Darvin Ham. AD even said so at the beginning of the season at summer. That's the reason why Darvin Ham is gone. If the players don't like playing for you, you're gone. So as long as they like playing for JJ, he'll stay, John.
Yeah. No, I mean, JJ.
No matter what we say.
JJ's not going anywhere. And, even if, let's say, the masses did think he should go somewhere, I will tell you guys, look, like, having a good coach takes continuity, and continuity takes time together. It takes a year, and that's one of the Lakers' biggest issues. We never have any chance to have continuity. It's always rollover, whether it's coaches or players. So it is what it is, man. But Dan, it's a lot of trolls in here right now in the chat.
Yeah, the trolls come out.
It's 150.
They all get quiet.
Hey,
they all get quiet. They all get quiet when the Lakers are winning. They all hide like rats, or like roaches when the lights come on. But then they come out. They come out when things are not that great. But you know what? They deserve to come out. They deserve to go ahead and spew their garbage. Again, I'm ignoring it. I have the ability not to have to see what's in that chat. I'm only looking for actual positive or just intelligent discussion in the chat. So if I see something I don't want to see, I just scroll. I have the ability. I have this mouse right here. See how it glows? It tells me, yes, it glows a certain color. When there's a certain color that comes up and there's a bad comment, it tells me, Gerald, scroll down. There you go. Scroll down.
Gerald, since there's so many people in here, and
again, I get all you haters out there, we're ignoring you. I'm ignoring you. John is ignoring you. We're just going to ignore you. So, and you guys got to go ahead and deal with it. You guys got to go. You're just talking to air is all you're doing right now. Go ahead, John.
No, all good, Gerald. I was just gonna say, since there's so many people in here, might as well go and check out some of my channel. There's so many people in here. Take your time to go check out my channel, please do.
And then spew the hate there as well.
And spew some hate here, because the hate helps with the engagement and it goes a long way. So go ahead and hate and interact here on my channel.
See, now this is a positive question right here that I'm going to go ahead and address. But first off, Vern, thank you so much for being part of what we do. Hopefully you'll like and subscribe. Hopefully you'll stay here a while. Truly appreciate you doing so. Gerald and John, who should we get in free agency on the defensive side? Well, the market this year is not going to be that great. That's not good news. I know that's not what you want to hear. Lakers are going to have to trade. The first thing I do, John, and let's get to the game first. The first and foremost thing, because this is going to tie into what Vern is asking for as far as improving the roster. The Lakers did not play Jackson Hayes. And there's some in the chat that said he should have played. There's some all over playback. I can't argue with that. I don't know. It's just a fascination sometimes coaches have when they see this player that hadn't been playing for months. He's ready to go. He's going to give you 5 or 10 minutes. And it's just like, well, maybe this guy can do something because he haven't played. Maybe this is just a new look that maybe will happen, and instead you're not realizing the facts that Maxi Kleber being thrown out in this situation, that is tough for any player to be thrown out after several months off like this. And he obviously, could only do for you so much. Jackson Hayes should at least gotten 5 of those minutes. If he takes away 2, 3, 4 of those rebounds, John, that's the difference maybe in the Lakers' favor.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I did think it was weird when Maxi Kleber went out there. I'll be honest, Gerald, just because, in my opinion, it's like, man, Maxi Kleber hasn't played nor practiced since January 25th, and we trusted him, but couldn't trust a single other soul for a minute in game 4 in the second half. Like that, that's just like the inconsistencies. It's like, you know what? It's fine. Like, you want to try Maxi Kleber? Like, all right, fine, let's try him. But if you're going to be so like willing to experiment, why wouldn't you have been willing to experiment with some players even for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5
Jackson
minutes?
Hayes or a Dalton Connect? Those guys have been playing for you all season, and to go ahead and be just ignored when the season is on the line, you're not even giving him a try, at some point. And the fact, he never really gave Hayes a try at all during the playoffs. It's disappointing. Hopefully he'll learn from this as a rookie head coach. And guys, again, whether I like him as a head coach or not, it's just a simple fact. He is going to stay as a head coach. It's just that simple. The Lakers are not going to fire him. They don't have any plans on firing him. They're not going to eat a contract because they're not going to eat a contract. They're not going to be like Phoenix that's eating contracts left and right on coaches. That is hilarious. So getting back to Verd's question, again, I don't think they're going to be able to go and get a huge upswing in free agency, but there is trades and trade value. And the player I was saying all game long that you have to look at was a guy who couldn't get it done in the clutch today. That's also one of the major differences in the game. Austin Reeves, John.
Man, oh man.
A lot of those open looks, a lot of those really open looks, he just didn't get it done. Guy who was 5th in balloting on the most improved player list, and a guy who, again, 20-point scorer, one of the only 3 or 4 players to be a 20-point scorer in the league. But we needed him to step up as a number 3 today. He didn't get it done. Intel Wild, your prayers are answered. Joe is here. I don't know if it's up to him. He gives you a rant, but let me finish with you, John. And he finished with Vern's question. Vern, I don't think we're going to be able to get much free agency that's going to, knock your socks off. But with Austin and Rui both due contracts in 2026 and both maybe getting a raise. In the case of Austin, getting a big raise, John, you now have to really strongly look at moving Austin and Rui for some valuable assets that will improve your team going forward, John.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, after seeing this second go around of Austin Reeves, just to be real, to fumbling in the playoffs, like I'm gonna be honest with you, I am not a regular season type guy, right? Like I could care less if you finish as the first seed, or I'm saying the 8th seed. I mean, it might help you as far as getting to the finals, and but the getting to the finals is the ultimate goal, and you need to have players that are going to be able to contribute come playoffs. This is now 2 playoffs in a row where Austin Reeves just has a visible and analytical drop off, right? Like I know there's a big divide here in the channel of some of the guys that just are strictly eye tests, and then some of the guys that are more analytics. But man, like you can look at both. Like you can look at the analytics, you can look at the eye test. My dog is just maybe not built out for the playoffs. And if that's the case, then let's get to talking. Let's get to talking. One thing I will say, I know this is extremely premature and I'm going to sound like a crazy Lakers fan out there, but I'll just say, look, man, I mean, Giannis is unhappy in Milwaukee, man. He can come on over if he wants to LA, have him be Luka's, pairing, have Giannis understand that he's not going to be on ball as much. Can you imagine a Giannis and Luka pick and roll? Like Giannis could finish at the hoop, right? And not even just that, Giannis could definitely make decisions out of that short roll. So I'd love to see it. But Gerald, before you go,
Laker Tom was already tweeting that already, and it's funny because he's very emphasizing it because he had it in all caps.
Yeah. Gerald, before you move on, give me one second. I gotta grab some right now. Hold on.
Okay. We'll stay with you, John. We'll stay with you. Again, thank you to Nick T for the super chat. Rudy Chamberlain, thanks to Jay DeCluzes. I saw that. You posted that on Instagram.
Bro, shout out Chris, the art director, bro. And go follow go follow his Drip Show page. Guys, he blessed me with this pillow, and I swear to you, I work from home, so this is going to be an amazing pillow right here for my back. It's going to be an amazing pillow just for me all the time. So shout out Chris, the art director. Just wanted to say that. But Joe, it's good to see you, brother. The people have been asking for you.
Also here today, good man indeed. He is, of course, the guy behind, of course, the Joe Soro Experiment. Go ahead and like and subscribe on that channel, the Joe Soro channel. Plus also as well, of course, his game, Corrupt, Coreupt on Steam. And also as well, of course, go ahead, his company. If you need any help transforming your lawns into something much more magical than it is today, and you live in the Southern California area, try Simblades with a Y.com. It is Joe Soro. Joe, good to have you here, my friend. I know you hate it when I say thank you, but both thank you to you and John for sticking with me all season long right here on the channel. I'd like to reciprocate in time during the course of the Dodgers season and try and be on there whenever I can. Disappointing way to end the season, but you could see it coming throughout the game. I asked the guys in the first half to try and stay positive, but you could see in the second half, I said, you know what? You guys say all the negative stuff you want because you could see little by little, even though the Lakers were coming back with a lead, it just seemed like with the fact that they shot only 15% from three, Edwards was having a terrible game, Rudy was killing the Lakers. It just seemed like all the things were aligning towards a Timberwolves win in the fourth quarter, and that's what happened.
Not enough juice, not enough talent, nothing up front. This was pretty prevalent early on, and JJ Redick tried to pull every unique toy out of his bag, and it just didn't work. Blame game is futile at this point. You can sit there and blame Reeves. You can sit there and blame JJ. You can blame LeBron. Blah 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 blah. This team didn't have enough juice, and there was already discussions of that before any of this, even when they were playing well, because playoff basketball is a whole different beast. And playing Minnesota turned out to be the wrong team. They would have been likely better off playing Golden State, Memphis, Rockets. They got a bad matchup at the worst time. However, even if they had won the series, I don't see them. I wouldn't have saw them winning it all anyways. They would have gotten worked by the Celtics. They would have got worked by Cleveland, likely Oklahoma City. I think they would have been able to beat Golden State if they were on, but beyond that, I don't believe it would have been a positive result. This was, if I had to put a comparison, but it's not exactly like that. This is like when MJ came back in '95 to play 17 games. Yeah, there was competition. Yeah, there was some good things there, but it wasn't set right at that point, and they needed an off season to get the right players and get the right training in. And I think that's something that the Lakers are going to have to do. The only ask I have for the Lakers is I would like them to make sure that they don't do another 1+1 this summer for LeBron. Let them play out the 2026 season. If it's a positive result, meaning if they win a championship, then reevaluate that decision. But they have to go into next season, because next season they're going to have a first-round pick again, and I think that the free agent pool is going to be a little bit better than now. You want to be prepared for that. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about now. I was thinking about it during the second quarter, actually. To be honest with you, I couldn't watch on playback for even when I was on John's channel. I just couldn't. For some reason, these stations delay randomly on either mine or delay on. Well, it's easy if it's delayed on playback because I could just pause my DVR, but can't do it when it's in the reverse. So it's hard to get excited and then all of a sudden, blow the surprise for the crowd. What do you want me to say? You want me to blame JJ? Is that going to make you all happy?
Well, the thing I think that what they're talking about is what was talked about by Mark and a lot of individuals during the course of the game on the playback for the Lakers fast break was the total shunning of Jackson Hayes, and instead bring a guy who hadn't played for months in Maxi Kleber. I think a lot of people have an issue with that. I can't say I blame them because any size, if he gets 3 or 4 rebounds away from, or offensive rebounds away from Gobert, that might be the difference in the game. I'm not saying it is, but it might have been the difference in the game. If there's just some size out there in Jackson Hayes to take those rebounds away, just even if it's a small one, even if Rudy Gobert gets 27 and 15 or 25 and 15, it's still better than the 27 and 21 he got today. And again, it just, the size issue obviously killed the Lakers. And I think the fact that you didn't play Jackson Hayes a minute in this game, I think a lot of people are going to continue to point at that. And I'm not going to say I would disagree with them. You got to try everything when your season's on the line. And they didn't even bother to try Connect, didn't even bother to try Jackson Hayes when it mattered. And those guys will be with you through the whole season.
I look at it from a much broader perspective. Does Jackson Hayes stop Luka from missing layups? Does it stop Vincent from shooting a random 3 when he has no business shooting a 3? Does it stop LeBron
Could at least taken some of the Vando's minutes, because Vando at times was really bad.
I even talked to Jeff. Jeff is dying on that vine, by the way, with Vando. And no matter how much I tell him this is not the way to go.
Much love, Jeff, but
yeah, he's dead set on saying that Vando's plus minus is valuable. I saw 3 plays with Vando on the edge of the right at the edge in the paint or by the block, and fumbled and stumbled and then got blocked by Rudy Gobert. Now that's not something to be ashamed of. You're getting blocked by Rudy Gobert. That's normal. However, Why is he getting the ball there? Why is Kleber getting a 3-point shot when he just got in? These are player decisions and also lack of identity on offense. And it's the LeBron James has never really had an identity offense other than LeBron with the ball. There's never he's never run like a triangle offense or any kind of specific kind of set in stone type offense. And this team needs that. This team needs a team oriented type offense. And I know that Luka is the heliocentric type player and he can still be that, but they need to start channeling more of the D'Antoni type offense. If you're going to do that, you need to make sure you set the roster up to better fit Luka there. Imagine Luka in those Phoenix teams in the 2000s. They probably have a couple rings. And I think the Lakers need to focus on getting that particular team here in the next few years. It's hard to be upset because we're pretty smart basketball people, regardless of what the taints say every now and then on the chat. And I'm trying to keep my language kind of under the radar a little bit, even if I'm saying something that's not a nice word. There's not unlikely that a child usually will understand what a taint is. So that's for you. Is it Nick T's kid and some other people?
So I think it was Tom Tibbs. I think
okay, Tom
this
Tibbs.
whole thing I think was Tom Tibbs.
Yeah,
Tom Tibbs.
So that's Tom Tibbs. Yeah. So I and again I just thought of this.
Well, I loved it when John apologized to Tom Tibbs about his kid, about cursing to his kid. And then he ended up cursing even more after that. But it was just so cute.
I listened to
it was just flowing, and he wasn't meaning to curse, and he kept on cursing, Joe. I
listened to the rant every now and then of him and I going back and forth on the LeBron Jordan thing, and when he curses at me, you effing idiot! But Joe, I love you, man. You're my guy.
Joe, I can flip up like that, Joe. I can flip up like that.
I don't get hurt by words, guys. I'm not. I don't really. It doesn't do it. It doesn't do anything to me. It's just I'm not affected. I don't have any sensitivities. This is what it is. I don't know if it's hereditary or is this something that was developed as I got older. I just don't. It doesn't affect me. Now, when I get upset on the show because someone keeps yapping, that's a cause and effect thing. After I'm done yapping, I'm done. I'm not sitting in my corner crying and whining about it. The Lakers need to put together it's the easiest thing I can kind of correlate to something that people probably know, especially if they've been around watching basketball for a while, and even if they know just a little bit about those teams back in the day, you'll kind of understand. The Stoudemire's, the Marions, and those guys. You're going to probably need those type of players, guys that can play some defense, guys that are good shooters, guys that are good mid-range guys that can get rebounds. The Lakers have some work to do here the next couple seasons, and whether they get another superstar once LeBron has exited, I mean, the Lakers have always shown that they will be able to do that. So maybe one more star, whoever that might be. I don't know who it could be. Could be Giannis, could be someone, I don't know. But time to build this next. You got 10 years, guys. I'm excited. I'll be honest. I'm excited for this. You have a 10-year window now with Luka Doncic. Hopefully, Luka can get into the gym this summer and really, really take advantage of this early exit and really get right for training camp. And they can maybe add a center and another maybe perimeter player that could benefit this team and maybe try and see what they can do next year. But that's where it needs to stop, in my view. They need to stop there, and then finally, when that $50 million is off the books, LeBron retires and all those good things, it's now time to go after the brass ring. That's where I stand on it.
Honestly, I mean, even for like anyone out there, like if you're a Lakers fan and you know what you're watching, how can you be upset? Like, we got Luka Doncic this season, guys. Like, we did not expect to get Luka Doncic at the beginning of the season. Like, if I would have asked anybody here on the panel, we wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, I think we're gonna get Luka, or something as crazy as that. Hey, Magic Man, what's up, brother? But like I was saying, we wouldn't have expected to get Luka. We got Luka Doncic. We went from, damn, what are we going to do after LeBron leaves? Man, LeBron leaves in a couple of years. It's just going to be, is it going to be like post Kobe years? Remember, we were talking about it in the chat the other day. The freaking Ryan Kelly's laying down on the bench in the Robert Sacre years. Remember, we were talking about that?
That was Chris Kaman, by the
That
way.
was a caveman. That was a caveman.
You're right. Sorry about that.
Chicken all over his face.
Yes, I heard that guy used to smell like ass. So anyway,
he didn't believe in showering.
I heard that too. I heard
that's the caveman.
Yeah,
I heard
he was German. He was German. He grew up in a hut. He didn't believe in showering.
Anyway, I'll just say this. That was post Kobe era, and I'm like, are we gonna go in something like that towards that direction? Like, please, God, no. And we got Luka Doncic, guys. So you know what, man? Like, I'm upset, but gotta be realistic, man. We got a new prime coming up here.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers season is over because Minnesota Timberwolves finished off the Lakers.
Hey, man, you smell like ass. Can you please clean it?
I would love to be a fly on the wall of that conversation, Joe. When you asked 6'11" Chris Kaman to go take a shower because you smell.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not. I don't care how tall he is.
He would pick you up. He would pick you up.
No, he wouldn't.
He would.
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. I guarantee he wouldn't pick me up. not unless I'm passed out.
Also here today, good man indeed. It is, of course, the madman from Toronto. He did get out of Toronto traffic to see the Lakers season come to an end. It is the Magic Man, Sean Grice. Sean, good to have you here, part of our playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break live coverage. Unfortunately, it was not a season to be for the Lakers. Again, they were only going to go as far as what LeBron and Luka could get them because what's around them is very suspect. Austin didn't step it all up in those playoffs, so I think they need to make some major decisions on him. And also, they need to build around Luka. And if you want to still keep LeBron around, obviously it's up to LeBron to make that choice or the Lakers to hint to them, as Joe would say, for that choice. I don't have as much faith as Joe does with Rob Pelinka. We were talking about it. You heard my comments. Feast or famine is Rob Pelinka. His moves either are a home run or a strikeout for the most part. He's had very few singles, doubles, things like that. It's been mostly either Westbrook trades or Luka trades, and there's really just not been that great of stuff in the middle. He needs to go ahead and start getting 2, 3, 4 good moves in this offseason because Luka's not going to wait around all day. He has still got options ahead of him in the future. That 10-year window that Joe talks about may not be as long as we want it to be if Luka does not see that we're building a winner for him. So your thoughts as the season comes to a close on what Rob needs to get done ASAP this summer?
Well, I mean, Gerald, obviously it's a disappointing way to end the season. We all favored the Lakers in this series. However, I mean, one team had 50 wins, the other team had 49. It wasn't there wasn't naivete on this panel as far as who the Lakers are playing. I wholeheartedly believed that the Lakers would come out on top. That being said, we said it from the onset of the Luka trade, Gerald, and the dominoes that fell thereafter, that the undoing of this team, the way the seams would come apart was a lack of a center position. It was the lack of size that was going to undo this team. And ultimately, I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I would have to guess that the Timberwolves were at least a plus 20 or more on the offensive boards through the 5 games, Gerald. Just based off just pure memory recall, I think it was a +8, +9, +6, +4 over the 5 games, and another dominant performance from the Wolves on the boards again. It behooves Rob to not bring back any of the unrestricted free agents that the Lakers brought in this year, Gerald. I think that's obvious. I think you're going to have to move Rui, and you're going to have to move Austin Reeves. I've seen enough from Austin Reeves now to know that when it comes to the playoffs, he performs at a disappointing level. He levels up for 82 and then levels down when your game is put into a phone booth. I mean, when there is like an arm's length distance between him and a defender, or him and a ball handler, it is a real problem for him, Gerald. He is still yet to get rid of, I don't know, what do you call it, just the butterflies, or a lack of, I don't know where his confidence is gone, Gerald, but it's in the toilet once again. We could talk about FIBA, we could talk about Denver, and now we could talk about this instance. So, I mean, what do they say, Gerald? One's a coincidence, two's an accident, three's a pattern. I think it's a pattern now with Reeves in the playoffs and him underperforming. And, like you said during playback, I think it's time to package him and Rui in the offseason and see what you could get, because I think you could get a couple of really good players for that package.
While their value is at their highest, in my opinion, plus with the expiring contracts, because it's not going to get any fresher, and you can't let them walk for nothing. You see what happens with the Anaheim Angels when you let a player, even a star player or even a very good player, walk out for nothing. It really haunts your organization. Let me go ahead, John, and bring it back to you before I bring back to Joe. Intel Wild's asking, would Mark Williams have made a difference in this series? I'll say today, again, if he's in there and
Intel Wild, you owe me $100.
There you go.
Intel Wild, come on.
Yep. Because he did drink. He did do that drinking that you asked for the other day. That
the other day, Gerald. The other day.
It's 3 weeks ago. It's like 3-4
almost
months ago.
Almost a month ago.
Where Intel asked him to drink 4 shots or 5 shots on the air. Yeah, and you did it. Yeah.
But I will say this: he can donate it to the Salvation Army.
There you go.
Donate it to the Salvation Army, dude.
That's a good cause. There you go. All good. John, would Mark Williams have made a difference? They didn't play Dalton the entire series. They keep the first round pick, which obviously they can package in a deal for this summer because they can bundle it with more number ones. But Mark Williams, does he help move the needle? He might have in this game because it was so close and a lot of it was based on rebounding. I don't know if he helps you in the other 2 or 3 losses enough to change the needle on that, but I think tonight he would have made the difference.
Well, I mean, I think, of course, right? I think tonight he would have, of course, made a difference. Like, we just been needing a center. We've been needing a big. I think it would have helped. I mean, historically, Luka Doncic has been at his best when he has had a rim-rolling big paired up with him, and Mark Williams is a rim-rolling big. But a couple of things. One, there's no guarantee bro would have been healthy. So, like, there's one is that. And two is, like, yeah, Mark Williams would have made a difference, and maybe we would have got a couple more games or even got past Minnesota, but he wouldn't have made a difference. That I think that this first round pick, if we package with Rui and Austin, that we'll be able to get a much better player that will provide will be players. However, we'll be able to get a couple that will suit much better than Mark Williams. But I mean, yeah, sure, absolutely, guys. I do think that Mark Williams would have helped us in this series. I mean, I think any viable rim rolling big would have helped in this series. I mean, you could have put Nick Claxton out there. You could have put anybody. I mean, Nick Claxton would have been great. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, I do think he would have helped.
Before I ask you that same question, Joe, from Intel Wild, I will tell you the great news that I think you've been waiting with bated breath to hear, because I know there was probably a lot of speculation on your part, Joe, and that Bronny James, after the game, announced he will play in Summer League. So I know that just is something you were on pins and needles for. So
Did he really announce that after the game?
yes, he did. After
Yeah,
the
he did.
That's crazy. I'd have been like, bro.
He's up mute. Sora's up mute.
I got you. I got you. Joe, you're okay now.
I want to thank Luka Doncic for just being. Just wanted to make that announcement.
Doctor, a small bird toast.
I'm not even saying anything. Just him being alive
Joe might be going unconscious soon.
Jackson Hayes going from starting the series, Joe, to not playing tonight. His comments were, it just doesn't feel real that the season is over. The coaches told me to stay ready, and they were going to try other things out. That's the coach's decision, and I respect it. He gave the absolute answer, but he's got to be crushed, not getting a chance to go ahead and fight Gobert. Your thoughts on that, and if Mark Williams would have made the difference?
No, he wouldn't have made a difference. Maybe he would have helped in the long run, sure, but I don't know. This is about winning a championship. It wouldn't have been enough, even if they had gotten past the first round. By the way, folks, I'm a grown man. I know you guys don't see a lot of grown men in your lives most of the time. I don't have man crushes. I don't do
What
that.
the fuck is that?
Okay, just
That sounds.
be clear there. I don't do man crushes.
Sounds.
I
gay.
like I like females and only females. There was no experimenting. There was no experimenting in college. There was none of this prancing around. None of that crap. So let's get the record straight here. Just kind of clear the air a little bit. Everybody. All of a sudden, as soon as you support somebody, all of a sudden you're turning into some tulip right away. Okay, just want to set the record straight.
Sean,
anyways,
Gangstalicious and
Gangstalicious. No, I only remember the Booty Warrior, man.
But yeah, no, I know what John's talking about with Gangstalicious. Yeah, no, John's talking about something else.
That's the only one I remember.
No. See. Yeah, no, I know exactly what John's talking about with King.
Guys, we're trying to keep this a little bit more clean because we want to make sure lighter. Say that's good. Thank you, Gerald. That's a perfect word.
Lighter
so that the people can listen with in the morning when they don't see us live.
When
someone knows.
John, my favorite scene in that episode happened to be when Ruckus was in the
washroom. Go with you anywhere. Oh, I see you're gonna pick the hard way. I can't go after that. I can't say anymore after that because it's too full.
When Ruckus talks about the difference between when a certain ethnicity goes to the bathroom versus another ethnicity's going to the bathroom and what it smells like.
So getting back to what we're talking about with the game and also the Lakers season, it comes to an end. Joe, I know you consider just the fact that we got Luka, we got set up for at least the short-term future. I did want to mention also as well, I know that was asked during the playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break live watch party that we did. I will say that you can add Dorian Finney-Smith. He does have a player option. He was asked about it after the game. He does not know if he's going to exercise it or not. Your thoughts on DFS? Should we make a big effort to keep him, retain him? Your thoughts on what we saw tonight? Tonight, we obviously didn't see enough from him. We've seen his ups and downs. He is the player that I said that we got. I know a lot of people were trying to make it out to be otherwise, but he is what he is. He's just a 10-point-a-game player who plays pretty good defense, but not great. Doesn't move the needle for you in any which shape or form enough. So would you commit more to him going forward, Joe?
I don't see why not. He's at a friendly salary, and he does have value in being a good role player. Can hit the three, can play some defense. That when he fouled out, I that was the first inkling in my head where the game was over, really over. That was one guy they couldn't lose. So it's I don't know who they're going to put together here to go get a player, but they do have friendly contracts that are substantial and or expiring contracts. I just don't know what's going to be available. That's why I'm not trying to go because the free agent pool isn't that vast this summer.
This summer is not that great.
Yeah, but it will be, and we'll talk about that obviously in the next few months before it starts. There is, and this is why it's important to look at the rescinding of the trade for Mark Williams, having that extra first round pick, keeping someone like Dalton Connect, who could develop into someone who could be extremely valuable on a Luka Doncic team. This was the right call in the long run. If you just get out of yourself a little bit and stop being asshats out there like Laker Doomer, who keeps yapping and doesn't shut the hell up.
We're ignoring him, Joe. We're just ignoring him.
And it's fine. Let him keep talking. And I threw a little bit of a bone to him there. But the amount of stupidity, and this is something that we have to continue to repeat, the amount of stupidity in continually saying the same regurgitated trash after every loss or after every series loss, it doesn't benefit anything. And if you pay attention to what happened this year, it's different than what it was the last few years. The Lakers extended a run by, in my view, at least a decade by doing what they did at the deadline. So if you don't want to believe that, if you want to go sit on Nico's lap, you want to still talk about defense that Luka doesn't play, you want to talk about anything else, Reeves should be thrown to the Wolves, it doesn't matter. In the end, those who know the game, those who know the Lakers, forget about the game. There's a lot of people who just watch one team and just focus on that. So let's just focus on the Lakers. This team was not set up to win. This team was set up for a future run. That's the easiest, simplest phrase I can think of.
Short-term gain, long-term gain.
Good, thank you,
Absolutely.
Trade.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and you're going to see that likely in the next year or two where that goes, because I am confident that they're going to put a team together here that's going to make a run, and they're going to be consistently in that run. I do say this is they gotta make sure this is to me the most important step here. They have to make sure that they tell LeBron that 2026 is his last year here. Unless they win it all next year, then they can maybe renegotiate, but they cannot give him another 1+1 if he ends up wanting to do that.
Top Notch in the chat said, "Hear me out. Put AR on trade block." We agree. I mean, that's one of the first things we said here early in the shows. We said, "Put
Hear
AR."
you out, Gerald. I'm the town crier.
Yeah, so like, put him.
Hear ye.
That,
On behalf of Laker fans everywhere, Austin Reeves is on the trade block.
Well, why
Reeves is on the block.
Why you put that out there, John? Finish up, my friend.
No, I'm
putting up some of the outlook. This outlook was provided by Bobby Marks on Twitter. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. I mean, absolutely. You package Rui, that first round pick, Austin, and let's go get us a reliable big. Man, this Lakers Doomer guy is on Joe's genitals. I'm not gonna lie.
Just ignore him. It's, you know what, I don't want to ban him because, again,
no, don't ban him. No, don't ban him. No. Let him cook.
This is part of his life that he enjoys, Gerald. Let's just let him.
Yeah. Again, he helps us out by watching. He's watching. He helps our views. He helps our ad revenue. You know, and if he doesn't pay for, if it goes to YouTube,
Don't delete his posts, guys. Don't delete his posts. Leave him.
Leave him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. I'm telling you guys, don't do it unless we're like, all right, that's enough. But no, let him talk.
Let him talk. There you go. All right, but it is, of course, the Lakers, unfortunately, ending their season on a 103-96 loss, losing the series, Magic Man, 4-1. Again, John Costa, Clutch Talk of Lakers Corner, Magic Man, Chuck Rice, Joe Soro, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for stopping by. If you haven't yet liked and subscribed, please do so. But Magic Man, you see right there the offseason outlook, and I'm leaving it up there for John, Joe, and you to start taking a look at, just to give you an idea. I don't know. Do they pick up another Trebo first later on in the summer when it's available? I don't know. But at least one tradable first, 5 pick swaps. They do only have the second round draft choice, which I believe is number 55. They do have a lot of contracts in the teens. And of course, he likes the fact that they have flexibility. So you're talking about right there what to watch. Will Reeves be offered an extension? Even if he's offered an extension, if I was his agent, we talked about this before, Magic Man. If I was his agent, I would decline the extension and try to see if I can get some fat money in 2026.
Yeah, absolutely, Gerald. Absolutely. And you know what? One more addendum I would add on that is always be on the lookout for who the Lakers scouts are bringing in that are undrafted.
Mhm.
They found Alex Caruso. They found Austin Reeves. They found Trey Jameson. Their scouting department looked long and hard and basically tried to resurrect what career Jordan Goodwin had. So I would definitely look at anything the Lakers bring in that is undrafted as well, Gerald. That's usually been a gold line for us the past about 4 or 5 years. And plus, with only 1 second, you're gonna have to be a hellhound in the undrafted pool.
No Joker says Doomer's mom donated this to cover the expense of insulin. Thank you, Ken, for the $5. Truly appreciate it.
That's a good
Joe.
Joker.
That was a good one. Joker Sean.
It's kind of it's kind of funny because it seems like it's true. I mean, Doomer, you seem like you live in your mom's basement. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Hilarious.
Search again.
Or in California, the attic.
It is much
Or the attic, Joe. A lot of people live in their attics.
Every little bit helps. Every time we see it go in Costco, and I'll just say this, Joe. When it comes right back down to it,
Phil, just telling everybody to F off for the attic.
With the Lakers, Joe, though, obviously, you want them to try and see what they can do right away. I know you talked about LeBron. You talked about what the conversation should be. And I'm not trying to fight you on it. I don't say I disagree with you. But I know what the conversation will be when it comes to LeBron, because this team has always catered to him and probably will continue to cater to him. So it's up to him that they're going to leave it up to him on what to decide going forward. I know it isn't right, Joe. But again, this is LeBron James and the Lakers, who make tens of millions of dollars off of his name, more than what he makes. I got to understand, they are going to go ahead and acquiesce to whatever his demands are in this offseason, Joe.
I don't.
I'm sorry. You could say no, but it's what is the reality. I don't say I disagree with you. I would rather not that happen either.
No.
But it is what it is.
No, it's time for LeBron to go.
I didn't say it isn't.
Luka was here.
I'm just telling you what he's going to get.
AD is here. Westbrook is here. The theme, the common denominator is LeBron James.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
No playoffs in 2022. Swept by the Nuggets in 2023. Lose to Denver in the first round in 2024. Lose to Minnesota in the first round when you're a 3 seed. The common denominator is LeBron James. Now, you have to get on. You have to move on. You have one more. He has 1 more year contractually that you're obligated to pay him. Do it. Make sure that's his last season, unless they win the championship. Then you can figure something else out with that. But this team needs to be formed for Luka, and that's the bottom line. There is no other way to look at it at this point. I'm appreciative of what LeBron has done. He ushered out the dead years of the Sacre and Ryan Kelly era. and we appreciate that. Thank you. You brought us a title, but I can't do. We can't. The Lakers can't do this anymore. It's like enough already.
I'm
He
not
cannot
disagreeing with you,
close.
Joe.
He can't
I'm not.
close. He cannot close. And LeBron
disagreeing
James,
with
I've been watching basketball his entire career. Set aside his social things, set aside his self-indulged comments, set that all aside. Forget all that. And just focus on the game. The man doesn't close well. And this league, with how similar every team is now, because you have no names that can hit shots from anywhere, right? All these players that have kind of evened out, and it's going to even out even more because the NBA does not want anyone to leave their teams. They're going to force teams to pay their guys the max money as much as they can, or force the players to stay where they're at. So now the movement is going to be difficult. The more money they make, the harder it is to make trades. Those type of things. So now the way the NBA is going, you can't have someone that can't be valuable at the end of games. And Luka does not have the ball enough at the end of games in a Laker uniform, which just is still mind-boggling to me. I think that's still more mind-boggling to me than the fact that he didn't play Jackson Hayes. It's just I don't understand why. This is why he's there. This is what he's been doing since he's been in the league. Yet he's been completely and I would say that probably is the worst part of J.J. Redick's coaching this year. The fact that he wasn't able to get the ball to Luka when it mattered. And with that, is it about LeBron James? Absolutely. Even if LeBron James isn't asking, or you can see that he might be affected by it, it's still affecting the decision. And it's there. That needs to go. I don't care about 24, 7-7, guys. Those stats mean nothing to me. It means nothing to anyone, because if you're going to ask me, Joe, would you want to see some really good games during the regular season where LeBron is a marvel at 40, but first round exits? What do you think I'm going to say? No, it's time. It's time for LeBron to go next year. I'm not going to get off that. And if they decide to add more years,
I disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
Then there's going to be a problem here. And I think if I'm Luka's agent, there's a discussion going on with Rob Pelinka. If I'm his agent, I'm going to ask Rob Pelinka, okay, Rob, what's your decision on 2026, the summer of 2026? And I think he'll know what he's talking about, because this team needs to be given to Luka now. It's Luka's team now, in my view.
Again, I'm not disagreeing with you on anything that you're saying.
Don't ever disagree with me ever again.
Well, I'll disagree with you if I want to disagree with you, but
you just said
unfortunately, reality will say LeBron will dictate otherwise. Doesn't matter what you or I say.
No, he doesn't dictate. They got Luka without telling LeBron, right?
I'm telling you, he is going to go when he wants to go.
Yeah, he can go next year. He's signed through next year. He can go.
Well, if he wants to do another one-on-one, you're going to be pissed off.
No, we're not doing another one-on-one. Sorry.
Okay.
And Luka,
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were the owner of the Lakers.
Luka's agent needs to be that guy. Sure.
Gerald, Joe Toro is the CFO of the Lakers.
No, I'm not. I'd say no.
On that.
No.
I thought Rob Pelinka was the president of basketball.
No, I would say no. No, you're not getting a 1+1 again.
So John,
you want to sell jerseys or win championships? They didn't acquire Luka to sell jerseys. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. They acquired Luka because they want to win.
I'm just telling you, as much as you and I want to see that change.
You're going to get off this? You're giving me a headache now.
Well, that'd be a first. John, your man, LeBron James, you heard what Joe said.
Be nice.
Again, I don't think
say what I want to say there.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think that it's gonna depend on how much LeBron wants to win. Like, I remember when LeBron took that originally took his current contract. My first thought I had was like, okay, well, like if he at this age is gonna take this much money, knowing he's gonna take games off, he doesn't want to win because he's not putting us in a position to be able to get other players to be able to go win. He's honestly kind of like putting us in a financial restraint, especially when he makes more money off the court, to be honest with you. Like, honestly, if I'm LeBron, like, and I'm trying to win as much as he claims to win, yo, give me, you know what I'm saying, minimum, give me whatever. I'm not really tripping. I make more money off the court. I'm trying to win. So if I'm trying to win, then you keep as much money as possible so you can go get players to put me in a position to win, and I'll make sure I'm good. Financially is not a problem. It has never been a problem. So that's that. And Joe, as much as like I may, you know, like you may want to side with you, I do think here that Gerald is right, because LeBron, I do still think he has that pull to where if he tells Jeannie that, and especially it being Jeannie, right? You know, the number one thing for them is not always winning. The number one thing for them is Benjamin Franklin. The number one thing for them is making some money. So they might be like, fuck, but LeBron is LeBron. He brings us so much money. Fuck it. LeBron, here's that contract. And I'm not saying it's the right move, but I do think that, you know, Jeannie's eyes are not winning first. You know, it's not like that other guy in LA, Steve Ballmer.
No, it's what Gerald was talking about when LeBron was sitting courtside. He had the hen on one side of his arm.
Yeah, Linda Ramos on one arm.
The chicken on the chick on the other side, and there was the big rooster. That's what I don't think Joe understands. The big rooster runs the Lakers.
Look, he does run the Lakers, but real quick, Joe, before you go, and to Joe's credit, to Joe's point, I do think that the big rooster is still LeBron, but it's slowly starting to become Luka, and at some point,
Luka should be the big rooster.
Yeah, the rooster should, right? So at some point, they're going to be like, look, LeBron, we're not going to keep bending over backwards here, like drafting your son, giving you contracts you don't deserve, all just for you to be the cash cow, because we really got Luka. Luka's really the cash cow now. So I'm gonna be honest, bro. I just don't think.
Hold on. Somebody just hold on.
So when he was asked,
Sam Khan. You hold on. Let me read this real quick. Kobe is my second favorite player behind Shaq, but even I know he's not in LeBron or MJ's class.
Yeah.
In their class.
Down the hatches. Here we go. Rough seas ahead, everyone.
In their class. What kind of class is this? A short bus class that you're talking about? What the hell are you talking about? Where would Shaq be without Kobe? When Shaq was sitting on his ass in Game 4 in 2000, what was Shaq going to do then on the bench? Wish a championship away, or to him? What about Game 3 when Kobe wasn't playing? What happened? Got their ass whooped in Indiana, right? What about Game 4 against Sacramento in 2001? Hell, let's go back to 2000. What about Game 3 and Game 4 in Portland? Shaq couldn't do shit in Portland for 3 and 4. Was Kobe giving the game-winning pass to Ron Harper in Game 3? Who fed Shaq the alley-oop after dusting Scottie Pippen? Who hit the game winner in Phoenix in Game 2? Who was deathly afraid of Kobe, who was our equal during that decade? This isn't me saying it. This is they said this. Yeah, San Antonio, scared to death of Kobe. You guys talk a lot of stuff, man, and you don't have shit to back it up. You just say class. What class? What the hell do you know about what class? Kobe is the second baddest motherfucker I've ever seen. Sorry, I have to say it. Baddest basketball player I've ever seen. Okay.
Tom Tibbs like.
Okay. The delusion is hilarious. If you want to talk about Finals MVP, look at the teams they played in those finals, and you'll understand why. And how do you think Shaq was so dominant in those years too? You think he just did it by himself? What are you going to put Tracy McGrady there? Do they win? Do they win 3 in a row if Tracy's there? Sean, what do you think? No. And he was supposed to be Kobe's equal. I heard that for 3 years until I was in Staples in the second half when McGrady was playing Orlando, and I saw the baddest, one of the baddest mofo I've ever seen live. Completely shut down. You don't shut down guys like T-Mac or AI in their prime. Kobe shut his ass down in the fourth quarter, didn't know who he was, and won that game. I saw it with my own eyes. That same class, really? I mean, that's as disrespectful as I can hear it. Second favorite player. What are you, 12? You should only have one. What's second favorite player? There's no one better than Kobe. No one better than Kobe except for Michael. That's it.
Man, I ain't never seen Michael butt slap another coach after hitting a shot right in his face and say, "See you next year." What he did with Alvin there, and all Alvin did was just like laugh his ass off, calling a timeout. Alvin Gentry. If nobody knows what I'm talking about, please Google or YouTube Game 6, Lakers Suns.
No, they don't want to see that, Sean. They don't want to see that game. They don't want to see what he did to Phoenix in that last 5 minutes. No, they don't talk about those games. They don't talk about Sacramento game clincher in Game 4, 2001, when he dropped 48 and 16. How many second fiddles dropped 48 and 16 in a clincher on the road and blow?
Oh, it's silly, Joe.
Yes. Well, I'm just trying to remind them. You better come with information. Don't just yap out of your rear end. Kobe is probably the most disrespected player of his ilk that I've ever seen in any sport.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Intel Wild said, guys, I said it months ago. Well, we've said it months ago as well. Austin needed to be traded, or he's a sixth man off the bench, but definitely not.
No, Peoples, you're delusional. You're delusional. Don't call me your dude, this dude. No, you're delusional. Bring the facts if I'm delusional. Explain. Go ahead. How much information can you remember from that time? Come with it. This isn't Twitter, okay? Sitting there slapping hams while you're yapping behind your little computer. Tell me. Go ahead. Tell me what's delusional. Come on, I'm waiting, peoples.
In the meantime, while you tell them what's delusional.
Come on. Yeah, no shit. I know Shaq was the finals MVP. You know why? Who was he playing in the finals? And how do you think he got there? I'm not trivializing. I'm not downgrading Shaq. Deserved those finals MVPs. But you don't win finals MVPs without Kobe being Bryant. Remember that. Kobe Bryant was drafted. He's the first perimeter player to ever be drafted out of high school. He didn't play the first 2 years of his career, really. Okay? He didn't really play his first 2 years. And he still made the All-Star team as a non-starter his second year. Year 3, he had a 50-game season. He didn't start his first full 82-game season until the year they won the championship. No, that's not a Twitter bot, Johnny. It's someone legit, someone stupid. So you got to understand circumstance too. Context helps. LeBron came in, he was the man right away. Shaq came in, he was the man right away. Michael Jordan came in, he was the man right away. AI came in, he was the man right away. Kobe didn't have that chance. Kobe had to come into a whole different culture. You didn't see guys like that come into the NBA straight from high school. But I'll tell you what, between 2000 and 2010, with 2 sets of eras, with bone on bone, with a broken shooting finger, with killing himself, with Kwame Brown and Smush Parker, wins 5 titles in those 11 years. 9-time all-defensive first team, 11 first team all-NBA. Beating Tim Duncan 4 times. I mean, come on. Really? Delusional, huh? That's the word you use, delusional. When someone's giving you information that's out there, that's true. That's how stupid you are. No, you're lost. You're lost. What I just said is truth. How am I lost if I'm telling you the truth? Explain. All you're doing is yapping. You're lost. You're mean. You don't know what you're talking about. No, you don't know what you're talking about. Give us some facts. Go ahead. Write it. We're not going to kick you out. Don't worry about it.
before you do that, well, while you do that,
Yes.
let
But
me
I wanted to
give-
go ahead and just give you one last thing, John.
Numbers are important too, but also understanding the circumstances. Kobe has more wins against 50-win teams in the playoffs than any player in NBA history. Competition matters. He played two of the greatest defensive teams I've ever seen in 08 and 04. It took that to beat him in those finals. These are legitimate statistics. Go look it up.
Before we head on, before you leave, John, I wanted to go ahead and mention something about LeBron James. So what he said after the game, he said many things after the game. If you want to check it out on Twitter, but the one thing he was asked on how much longer he plans to play, and he said, where was the quote? He said he was going to evaluate it. He was going to go ahead and take a look at himself. He's going to talk to his family, but take a look at himself, inside himself, and determine how long he was going to play. But he had no answer at this point in time. So, again, the jury's still out, John, on how much longer. But he is going to make – he basically alluded that he is going to make the determination how much longer he's going to play. The Lakers, I know that Joe wants to help him out the door, but I'm not sure the Lakers will have the will to send him out the door.
Oh, they'll have the will when Luka's agent says, "You want that extension?"
Agent, then you better talk to Luka's agent then.
Well, we're gonna see. But one thing I do know is that LeBron James, as of right now, as of April 30th, 2025, he's still one of the major cash cows, and Genie in that Lakers organization is gonna give him what he wants, when he wants, just like how it's been as of late. And I do believe that you can build around Luka and still have LeBron. Now, LeBron is not supposed to be the getting paid number two guy type money, because if he's doing that, then we can't have another number two type guy. But if LeBron can take a pay cut, we can absolutely build and win a championship with LeBron and Luka out there, and then still have another big. But on that note, I am gonna hop to do my recap. So just want to shout out everybody that's in here right now, man. 104 people in here watching. You guys are legit. Just wanted to tell you guys, if you want to watch my channel, please do check out my channel, Lakers Corner on YouTube. I do 3-minute game recaps. This is my YouTube channel right here. So thank you. I do 3-minute game recaps. And also do film breakdowns where I get into the film a little more. And then TikTok is Lakers Corner 24. And Instagram is Lakers_corner. And as for Sean, Gerald, and Joe, I will see you boys soon. I know there's not a Lakers game here soon, but we'll find some stream to get together. If not, we'll chat here in the group chat. But I'm gonna
Always,
do
my
this,
friend.
And I'll see you boys later.
All
Later,
the best,
John.
John. All the best, my friend. Appreciate it. Then once again, John Costa, Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner. Sean, let me ask you this. Alan says he thinks Braun may be traded. So how does one get traded when they have a no trade clause? Now, he can go and ask, but Alan, I would like to hear your thoughts on this. So obviously you're saying that he's going to leave his son because he's so disenchanted with where the Lakers are at that he's going to ask to be traded. That's the only possible, because when you have a no trade clause, if the guy doesn't want to be traded, see Bradley Beal, he won't be traded, Sean.
I can only respond to Alan with what he responded to me the other day at playback. Alan, are you high?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's utterly preposterous. And I use that word very, very infrequently, but I like it.
Joe, go ahead, Joe. No, I got you off mute.
Jose Ortiz is high.
Okay.
Saying that LeBron is a greater Laker than Kobe. I mean, the amount did everyone did half the crowd in here drink the stupid juice tonight?
Goofballs, yeah. You guys are on goofballs tonight.
But welcome, Mike Peoples. Even though I think you're gonna. What is he the one that said that Kobe is not even close to LeBron or MJ?
I think it was Sam Kahn.
Okay.
which is
He was
surprising
arguing with
because I was excited. You know, I'm very happy. You know, his wife usually listens and he listens. It's like a family thing. It's nice. I had to yell at him here tonight in front of everybody.
I gotta admit, I like Benedict. What's his name? Cumberbatch Gerald.
Cumberbatch, yes.
A lot better as Khan than
You
Ricardo
ain't cook shit, Nick.
Montalban. Than
Go
Ricardo
ahead. You want to come
Montalban.
on?
That's
Bring
a
it.
strong take. That's a
You
strong
want to come
take.
cook? All right, bring it.
I'm not saying I'm
better
saying
not
I'm
be
going to agree
stumbling in
with you
your
on it. But
speech.
strong take.
You better not be. You better not be doing that shit because I'm going to be clowning you all day, and that shit will be recorded. No one records the chats, really. We'll
Yeah, I mean,
record it here.
Johnny's pretty good, but Joe had him doing this towards the end.
Well, our chat for this video will probably generate. It probably takes like 2-3 days to generate, but the videos always stays up, so that's the most important thing. But it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. The Lakers season's over after a 103-96 loss. Joe, I'll bring it back to you. A lot of decisions have to be made. Of course, you said what you said about LeBron. In regards to Austin Reeves, again, another disappointing showing today, disappointing showing this entire playoffs. I'm not saying I disagree with Intel Wild because you and I said on a championship team, we think ultimately that's where he fits best as a sixth guy off the bench. But you and I both know as the guy who is one of the most improved players this year, finished fifth in the balloting, one of the, 3 players all time to be an undrafted player to average 20 points in the league. He is going to try and cash in soon. He's going to be offered an extension by the Lakers, but I'm assuming he's going to deny it or decline it because he'll want a big payday in 26. And if that's the case, I'm not sure the Lakers should go ahead and buy what he's trying to sell.
Are you serious?
What?
Just read the comment.
Oh, I'm trying to tune out most of the comments unless they're halfway decent.
Hold on. Sam Connor said, Joe can't read. I said, Kobe is, a greater Laker than LeBron, but not a better player. Okay, Sam, I like your little moving the goalpost there. I know what I read. I'm not stupid. Anyways, what was your question again, G? I'm sorry, real quick.
Austin Reeves. Again, Intel Wild. I don't disagree with Intel Wild on a championship team. He's a sixth guy off the bench. I think that's where he fits best. But I think that Lakers are going to offer him an extension. He's going to decline the extension because if he has another season like this one where he's another 20-point scorer again, he's probably going to want to go ahead. And Sean even said he might even become an all-star next year. If that's the case, in 2026, he's going to get paid. It's going to probably be his biggest contract ever in his career because he's already in his prime now. I don't think it's going to get any better for him. And I don't think it's going to get any better time for the Lakers to go ahead and trade him for valuable assets, Joe.
I don't really care. I'm only focused on making sure they have enough money for next summer. Not this summer, next summer. If they want to keep Austin, great, at 14 mil, maybe 20 mil, let's say. I don't think that's a bad deal. The important part here is the Lakers bring in the essential talent, probably one more star when LeBron leaves, so that Luka can have some pressure a little bit off him, at least from a team standpoint, and then have the right role players, the right bigs, the right athletes that can move around and kind of do what Minnesota did in this series against the Lakers. I feel like everybody's kind of stiff. Vanderbilt's stiff. DFS is stiff. Austin Reeves is doing his best to try to be him, but it's hard against the athletes that he's playing against in the playoffs, especially when they're focused on him. Obviously, Gabe Vincent is he's got to be one of the guys that ties into a trade this summer and gets out. That's essential. If there's some way Rob can get rid of Vanderbilt, that'd be huge. Just to get rid of that problem. DFS, I don't mind if they keep. I think
Reeves has become a fan favorite. Okay, he's definitely good for teams who are big on social media, and he's going to sell tickets in the dog days, Joe. If you want Reeves, because while he doesn't have turnstile appeal. He could get butts in the seat. You got to take Vando. If you want Reeves, you got to take Vando. That's the deal. I'm sick and tired of the Lakers taking other people's recycling. It's time to turn the tables. You want, like Gerald said, you're not. I'm offering you Austin Reeves at his highest. Buy low, sell high. This is what we're doing with Austin Reeves. If you're going to buy him high right now, you're going to have to take Jared Vanderbilt too.
Johnny, remember Suggs has a torn ACL, so you're getting damaged goods.
I don't. It doesn't.
So does Mo Wagner for the Orlando Magic.
Yes. There's no. I'm not in any way affected if they decide to trade Austin or Rui. I think I'll support it if they bring back a good haul. I don't know if that's going to happen though. I don't want definitely not have Austin as a $30 million player. That can't happen. So that's
what he's going to ask for. He's going to ask.
If he asks for that, then and by the way, that's probably the silver lining here is the way he performed tonight, and really the whole series. It's not likely that's going to be a reality, anyways. It's just not. You have to focus now on at least getting one new star to LA within the next few years. And then build around Luka's game and whoever that star is as well.
And you also have to, if you're JJ Redick, you also have to improve the way you implement new offensive wrinkles or strategies into a game plan. Because I'm gonna pull this up, Gerald, and a lot of people really aren't going to be able to make heads or tails of it, but I can do my best to try and explain what we're looking at here. But basically,
hold on. I just want to say, Intel Wild. Unfortunately, I cannot relay to the audio audience what you're saying, but thank you for the super chat nonetheless. As far as even Doomer's mom is getting a lot of heat. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say to the audio audience. And I'll leave it at that. Go ahead, Sean. My apologies.
No, Gerald, don't ever apologize after you just posted that. After what we all been through, that was beautiful. Intel Wild.
Doomer's mom is just like getting it right and left.
Yeah,
like,
forget the money. That was good enough. That's your charity for the day. It's giving me that kind of. I am going to laugh myself to sleep with that particular line. Thank you very much, Intel Wild. Getting back to what we were discussing here is that, so Gerald, you need to play organized basketball. In the last 4 minutes of these games, in the last 3, the Lakers have not played organized at all. So I was really paying attention here, Gerald, when it was 82 to 81 with about 4:20 left. The Lakers came up short again, Gerald. In the fourth quarter, they cannot sustain consecutive possessions where they get good shots. It is a problem, and it's been a problem since Darvin Ham was a coach, and it's been a problem the last year of Vogel's. All right, so I'm just put it up here, Joel. I'll try and explain to people what they're seeing. Oh, let me just.
No, Johnny. It is what it is. We're Lakers fans through and through. At this point, I'm just an observer. That's all I am. Or that one? How about there?
No.
All right, we'll keep on trying it. But thank you again for watching. It is the
Lakers. Here we go.
All right, third time's a charm right there.
Okay, so I'll just read it out to everybody. So at halftime for LA's half-court offense, 35% play call rate was freelance. So that means there's actually no set being called. It's just LeBron or Luka running whatever they wish. 0.88 points per possession. points per possession, or you can get rid of it now, Gerald. Points per possession are an important analytical stat in the NBA. It's probably the most important at the end of a game, the end of a road trip, what have you. It's how many points do you get on a possession? So per 100 possessions, you're taking into account turnovers, offensive fouls, defensive fouls. You're taking into account both missed shots. So you really want to average at least 1 point per possession. That's so if you're averaging 0.88, that means instead of averaging 100 points per 100 possessions, you're averaging 88. And against a team like Minnesota, who's got superior athletes and actually run an offense with schemes and designs, it makes it harder to climb up that hill. And that's what you can't have with JJ Redick. He can't keep going back to his vanilla paced offense.
I agree. Again, he has to learn how to evolve as a coach, Joe. Again, rookie coach, we said there would be ups and downs, and there was. And there were some mistakes made clearly in this series by him. Chris Finch clearly outcoached him. He sometimes was not being able to find the answers. But again, he's a rookie coach, and hopefully he will grow from here. A 50-win team, a 50-win season for a guy that hadn't coached above a third grade level. That's not too bad. Not too bad, but there's still more room to grow. Where are you?
Can't jump on
there
this.
you go. Which one's now? Who are you mad at now?
It's just I'm not mad at anybody. I'm getting a headache tonight.
He's getting
from
a headache?
everybody. Wilt would have killed Shaq now. Okay. Wilt could barely win championships even in his heyday. He won 2.
I thought the most impressive thing about Wilt was that he was able to arm curl Arnold Schwarzenegger rather than anything he did on the NBA basketball court.
Yes, I saw that picture. Yep, I agree. Joe, again, that's why I'm not even looking. I'm not even looking at the haters today. Again, they're having their time. And again, all the people who said no to the Luka trade, or they hate the Luka trade, or they love their Max Christie because he walks on water, or they want AD back because he's the center we're talking about. I know that LeBron after the game was joking about the fact that when because it was brought up to him the fact that they need a center, whatnot, and LeBron's comment was, well, when AD said that, he was gone a week later. So he didn't want to say anything in regards to that, and leaves that up to Rob. Be that as it may, again, just a lot of harsh feelings right now amongst Lakers fans on what needed to be done that didn't get done. This trade, again, people have already set their minds to it. And I've said earlier, Joe, that even if Luka wins a championship, I don't even think that's going to be enough for Lakers fans on doing what they did in getting Luka Doncic.
How many times do we have to talk about this?
A lot, apparently, because they still
it's a waste of time. If you're gonna continue to just live in the moment because you want to be right, it's a waste of time. I mean, we're getting Wilt Chamberlain comments now. Wilt will destroy Shaq. How do you know? What do you time travel? When you look at the results, you remember that, guys? The results. Does that ring a bell? Results?
No. I gave 805 the same line Tommy Chong gave Wilmer Valderrama from that 70s show was Fez. Hey man, whatever you're on, I'll take 2. Saying Wilt would average 25 and 13 today. If Rudy Gobert can average 27 and 21, what do you think Wilt would average? 55 and 30?
Let's see here.
Intel, again, thank you for the super chat. Please hit the like button. Truly appreciate it. Like and subscribe. If you're going to be trolling us or whatnot, please.
You want to hear a crazy stat, Sean?
Subscribe. Become a member for $2.99.
You want to hear a crazy stat?
Throw it at me, Joseph.
So 1962, Will Chamberlain's 50-25 year, right?
Yeah.
Game 2 against Boston when he was playing for the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
His line was 42 points, game high. You know what his rebound game high was? 37. He almost had a 40-40 game. But he couldn't win the series.
Do you know how much heat you get today? You got 42 and 37, and you didn't win the series.
They lost the last game by 2. Damn. That sucks. Oh my God.
Hey, what Jerry West always say, Joe? I'm 10 points away from having 4 more
That's
rings.
one of my favorite lines in the show. He goes, if I had just made 10 more points, I'd have 5 more of these.
And I'm just reading over. I'm not going to go in specifics, on private chat what the Lakerholics are saying, but it goes back to those same alliances that you're seeing, Magic Man. Again, you cannot. It's very hard to change people's minds and have them see reality or clarity, because a lot of times people just think what they want and believe what they want to believe. And I get that, and I understand that at this point. But go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. So here's how I'm going to explain the Shaq Kobe era. Shaq was gypped out of 2 more MVPs in 01 and 02. But just because he was gypped out of the MVPs there's still a team game. Shaq doesn't sniff anything in those years without Kobe Bryant.
So you think that Steve Nash's MVPs are more measurable than, say, Duncan's versus Shaq? Like, you think there's a better argument for Nash's MVP from a measurable point of view than Duncan's?
Not in 03. I thought Duncan got an MVP a little too early in 02. I don't think he should have won in 02. I think that should have been Shaq's. But the reason why he did win it is because Shaq, I think, only played 66 games that year. It might have been 63, 64. I don't know. And that usually
Which
was
by today's standards would be considered,
right. But at the time, that was considered, well, you missed almost 20 games. That means you're not gonna, it's not gonna work. And that's Shaq's fault too. I'm not gonna say it's just the league, but still, in the end, that's the baddest guy ever in those 3 years, in my view. Now, as far as Steve Nash in 05, which Shaq has an argument there in winning that year. That was a unique year. I think that was the best chance the Suns had at winning a championship because Joe Johnson was still on that roster. It was the most complete roster, but they weren't able to get past.
They were also considered to be last place in that division that year. They weren't considered to be in first place.
Yeah,
and so the narrative changed as well.
It's tough, man. 06 was a bummer because Westbrook and Harden win their MVPs because they were individually freaks in their year, right? Yet Kobe was a freak in 06, and he was third in the voting that year too. He wasn't even second.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I mean, I'm not crying in bed every night because players that I like aren't winning MVPs or awards, but in terms of how you look at Kobe's career, that plays an effect. If Kobe's sitting on 4 MVPs, which he should have had, this is a completely different argument, likely. Just like TJ Watt has been talking, he actually called Roger Goodell, called the league after that piece of garbage in Cleveland won the Defensive Player of the Year last year. Then he had 0 sacks the last 6 games of that year, too, by the way, in 2024 or 2023, sorry. And he's like, dude, like, I should have 3 of these. He's only got 1. Like, what do I need to do to get this right? And these voters, man, it's just they change with the wind. They changed on whether they like. They're just like a lot of the guys on the chat. They just go where the big blown out ass is going.
Yeah. No, a fart in the wind is a distraction.
There you go. That's exactly. I wanted to say it, but I don't like using the word Yeah.
He curses up a storm and then he just doesn't say it like safe harbor.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I know. He uses all the 4-letter words except
about the
FART.
It's not about the vulgarity. I just don't like saying that word.
Why?
I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't have anything against it. I just don't like using it.
Scientists just said, if you saw that article the other day in the news, Magic Man, that scientists are now telling you to fart walk. And,
Yes. No, it's true. It's true.
It's supposed to be good for your health.
Yes, it's true. You're supposed to have a healthy flatus, Joe. That's important.
I've never heard the word flatus, by the way.
It's a technical term.
That's the first time
fart.
I've heard the word flatus.
That's a technical term for fart. Is flatus.
Flatus.
Intel Wild with the super chat. Thank you again. Intel will play it against the great Bill Russell.
Do you have a healthy flatus, Joe?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay,
he's basically saying Wilt was much more dominant on Russell one-on-one, despite the results with Russell.
Russell went to 6 NBA finals, lost 4 of them. He won in 67 and 72. 72, he won the finals MVP. He lost in 64 pretty badly against Boston. He lost to Boston in 69, lost to the Knicks in 70, lost to the Knicks in 73. And those are blemishes. If Wilt is 6-0 in the finals, I would say there's no one better in the history of the NBA, and I don't think that would probably be an argument. He'd probably be Babe Ruth of basketball at that point. So it's important to understand numbers matter, yes, but they don't tell the whole story.
I mean, because if you based it off of rings, Russell would be the best of all time. If you just based it off of rings.
Right. But Russell also had 4 other Hall of Famers on his teams, and that was interchangeable, right? That helps. And Russell sacrificed his game to win. His thing was about winning. He was the Derek Jeter in a lot of ways of his era. Better in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, I get that, but what I'm saying is his mentality. Derek Jeter had Bill Russell's mentality. He didn't care about stats. He didn't care about being the best shortstop. He was obsessed with winning. Kobe wanted the stats, the rings, your heart, everybody, right? There's different tiers of this. Robert Horry has 7 rings, but he has 7 rings kind of like how Sam Jones has 7 rings to a degree. I know I'm not trying to insult Sam Jones. He's a Hall of Famer, but he's not the guy. He's not like the guy. I don't even know why I had to address that. That's a comment.
In 805, if you have a choice between able to go to Orlando and try out Disney World and the new Universal Studios, big, huge expansion, or the stuff in LA between the Universal Studios and Disneyland, go to the Orlando ones. They're much larger, better experiences. But if you have to choose here in LA, because if you're only going in SoCal, I would choose Disneyland over Universal Studios. It's smaller. Universal Studios.
What do you mean? Which Ori rings are legit? You mean as in terms of his
contributions?
Contribution?
Yeah, he contributed a lot in the second one.
95 and 02, I'd say those are the 2 most crucial.
I would that game-winning shot he hit against the Pistons is up there too.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right on that one too.
All right. So it is, of course, the Lakers fast break.
I like using the word legit. They're all legit. He had a handle in it, but
he contributed on every one of those.
Man, I don't know what the hell Rasheed Wallace was thinking. I would have went nuts.
Leaving him, yeah.
I still can't figure out the Vlade tap out.
That makes sense. He was trying to get it away from the basket. That makes a little sense. I don't think anybody would have assumed it would place perfectly in front of Ori to where he can do his little kickstand and then
in rhythm.
In rhythm. Yeah, that was a freak luck. You know, Vlade wasn't off on that when he said it. It was sour grapes. And I think Ori didn't really understand the frustration. I think if he had seen Vlade say it the way he said it, it was just lucky shot. You don't have to have a skill in that kind of situation. You just throw it up, and if it goes in, it goes in. I've heard that line so many times, and I maybe because we're biased because we love Lottie because he was a Laker, but that's what he
Yeah,
meant.
absolutely.
That's what he meant. But the guy that asked Ori that question or commented it to Ori, he knew he was going to get an Ori answer, and I think they won in that little side thing.
So before we head on out, Joe, I want to make sure with 90 people watching still, we're going to head on out here soon, but I want to make sure you give people a plug of what you're up to and when you're going to stop by next for the Joe Soro experiment.
You know, the experiment, and I'm slowly moving to the show being called The Experiment. And you can pronounce it experiment. I just say experiment. It just happens to start with an O. Why? Because there's a moniker there now, right? That has some cachet. And you've noticed that I've been wearing a lot of red lately. Red is the colors of my alma mater, black and red, and that's where this derives. And to put a nice little story behind this, they just had a documentary about our house at San Diego State shutting down due to activity, not good activity either. Unfortunately, someone passed away during that time. Now, I'm not trying to boast for it, but the individuals that were in the house, created this worldwide, documentary, and it's a lesson to be learned. It's a lesson to understand that the consequences of drugs, consequences of being a heathen. This is it can go to a place where a young lady ends up going to a dorm room and dying. And the house is not there anymore. It was sold, and the fraternity is no longer on campus. There's a chance it could come back later, but that's something for the future to figure out. But yeah, but when I was there, it was good times. I remember it's interesting how, kind of veering off here, but it kind of goes with the question you had there, Gerald, or the comment. I remember my senior year. Well, I was there a little bit longer than I wanted to be, but thank God I was, because I met some people the fifth year I was there, and I'm still friends with many of them, and I would have never met them if I had graduated earlier. There was so much tension that last year about drugs. It was just really weed. No one talked about other drugs. It was really weed. But the term, that's how it starts, always was there for me. And people were so adamant about, Joe, you cannot be strict, and you guys can't be strict on weed, and this and this and that. And at the time, I wasn't mature enough to articulate what was going on in my head. If I was to go back with what I can say now, is I would have said, if we allow this, then something else is going to be allowed. And if we allow that, something else is going to come. Drugs are not good. Weed is not good in this environment. I'm sorry, it's not. Well, what about drinking? Drinking's worse than... Guys, weed is illegal. And it brings a different kind of atmosphere. Even now when it's legal, it still brings a certain atmosphere. Okay? When I have a drink at a bar, I'm not surrounded by a bunch of drunks all over the place. I'm sure there's one in the crowd here and there every now and then, but it's not something that's bringing something else like meth or coke. Oh, Joe, you're watching TV too much and you think it's about... No, it's a bad environment. But guess what? Years later come, right, Gerald? I mean, this is what happens, right? Now, oh, Joe, it's just... Or, guys, it's just this, it's just that. And all of a sudden it kept building. And then you have some piece of shit who sells drugs out of the house. Girl ends up dying. They have to do some covert ops trying to catch this guy. And now it destroys an entire $8 million project that I was there during that time, and they were planning and implemented and built. And I was there for the opening day to cut the ribbon, all this excitement, to only have it ruined. Why? By drugs. So we'll talk. I'll that's the genesis of the experiment. in terms of the O and the X. It's really not really an O, it's theta in Greek. So, yeah. The experiment will continue until I guess until I kind of get a nice little niche going. I'm going about a week or two, once or twice a week, just to kind of get my bearings together. And with the Lakers now going in the offseason, there's going to be a lot more speculation on what they want to do next. And of course, the Dodgers are going to be a big topic. And don't forget, football season's going to start creeping up in about 2 months. And damn well I'll be talking a lot about football.
And that's the Joe Sorrell experiment. Go ahead over to the Joe Sorrell channel today and like and subscribe on YouTube. And Magic Man, great season from you, my friend. Always great to have you here as well. We'll continue our talks during the playoffs. We've got to get together for NBA observations to go ahead with our analysis during the playoffs, and also maybe some things, little tidbits as far as the Lakers during the course of the playoffs and see how that runs. But before we heading out, $20 from Intel Wild. Thank you again for the super chat. Podfather, Joe, Magic Man, Lakers Corner, and the Lakerholics. Thank you for a great season, fellas. Sean, I was asleep when the $100 thing went down. I'll get you back.
But it's all good. Like Joe said, you're a man of your word. So if you want to maybe throw a $20 bill into that Salvation Army kettle this week or next week, bro, do me that solid, because they do good work. I give to them, so I'd appreciate it if you gave some of that money to charity.
Oh, there you go. Absolutely. Cannot thank you enough, Magic Man and Joe, for being here this season. Big shout out to John, the Lakerholics legend, Alfred Esmond, Stone Hansen as well. We'll basically get him on here as well in upcoming episodes, because he's going to start detailing the NBA draft for us. But Joe and Sean will be here periodically when they can. It's up to them on how much they want to be here or how much they can be here, but we'll try to continue with our NBA observations, continue with Lakers talk as best we can during the offseason.
Gerald, before we head on out, I'd just like to say, normally around this time, I would hear my very good friend Joseph Sorrow or Stone Hansen wax poetic about days gone by and the solid days of the Lakers and having a good franchise. And Joe and Stone would talk about the fucking limbo of hell that we're in with the Lakers, deciding whether or not to is LeBron going to extend at 38, extend at 39? Oh, are we going to bring in Jackson Hayes to help the Lakers? And it became a very depressing place, Gerald. But I kept coming back because I love the Lakers. And Stone's a good guy, but Joe's my friend. And it was just a sad state of affairs, seeing how forlorn and just hopeless they were. And then the Luka trade happened, and it felt like they were both Stone and Joe were Dorothy running through the poppy fields.
Well, on the way out, if it gives you guys some solace, Luka was praising the organization, praising the city. I want to go ahead and give him a shout out, because I guess there was a mural that was in Los Angeles that was defaced by graffiti, and he is of Kobe. Was it Kobe and Gigi?
It was Kobe and Gigi.
Okay, yeah, and he is paying for the entire costs for getting that fixed. And so, class act. Luka Doncic is, even in loss, he said Minnesota was a better team, but that he is proud to be part of the organization. It's been a whirlwind, paraphrasing, whirlwind 2 months for him, but he's glad he's here, and he's going to learn more about the city, the team, and just try to process everything. But he did say about JJ, quote, "I think he's a hell of a coach. Not many coaches do the stuff he did this first year. I'm really glad he coached me. It feels sometimes like I'm back in Europe a little bit. We have a great bond. It's been nothing but amazing." So I'll leave you at that.
So positive to end the show.
Yes, trying to be so, because we had so much negativity in the chat, Joe.
Yeah, but I love negativity. It makes the fire burn.
Yes, I know. That's Ralph said he lives for when you go off on the chat. So
The powers grow the more dumb questions and comments come. Honestly, I'm born for this. I was born
like a
for
superhero.
this.
There you go.
I really was. I
Negative
really am.
comment man. I'm negative comment man. Do-do-do.
I
Intel
was
Wild
talking smack. I talked a little bit more aggressively to Jeff tonight. It was kind of funny. I told him, "Hey man, I'm a backhand you," and right away he's like, "There's no world between you and I of you ever hit backhanding."
Well, all I can
So then
say
I
is
asked him, and then I asked him. I said, "Hey, so is that New York talking?" And he goes, "No, that's Pacoima talking." Actually, no, he said it like this: "Nah, that's Pacoima talking." I was like, oh, "Okay, Pacoima is a small town in LA, guys. Just so you know."
what you're seeing in the chat with him, and I'm seeing in the chat with him, both him and Empire Jeff, and also as well Jamie Sweet. Those guys are they're not getting off that mountain. They're not getting off of Vando.
Well, I'm assuming Jeff. Again, I don't like saying this while he's not here, but I'll tell him tomorrow so he understands. I talked to him a little bit, but it's not going to work. Vando is not going to work. He'll never work.
And we've got him on the contract, Joe, for another 3 more years.
He's the negative yin and yang. The good thing is always mushed up into the bad thing, and it doesn't do anything. LeBron does that a lot, except LeBron's more two good things, one bad thing.
The problem is when it comes to offensive basketball, Jared Vanderbilt gums up the works.
Yeah.
There you go. Intel Wild says, watching from behind, Austin will never be All-Star. So I think he disagrees with you a little bit on that, Sean. If you
to be
do
fair,
you still
Jared,
hold that stance? Do you still hold? That's why I can ask.
I clarified it in the chat. To be fair, when I said that, I said if Luke and LeBron are on the Lakers, I think Austin is an All-Star. He would make an All-Star team with the votes. I said that. I did say that.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not on the Lakers, he's not an All-Star.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And with
that being said, though, Gerald, anything's possible. Zaza Pachulia almost made an All-Star team through NBA All-Star voting. Tyler Hero made the All-Star team through voting. So everybody decides who they want in a particular and it could be trolling too. I mean that whole
another thing about international now for Magic Man. They're down thinking international for the All-Star. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
This is so exciting, by the way.
Yeah, anything is better than what they put out this year, which was garbage on fire on top of a shitstorm.
Nezico, that's not possible because LeBron has a no trade clause.
NTC.
Yes, I don't know how many times we're going to have to say that like 300 times. He has a no trade clause. And to answer Alan's question again from earlier, even if he opts out and he goes again for another one-on-one, which I know Joe would absolutely hate, guess what he's going to have put in there? Another no trade clause. So, but we'll have more Lakers fast breaks for you throughout the summer.
Are you going to get off that yet or what? Jesus. We couldn't even end the show without you mentioning it again. Makes me want to watch the.
Well, it's also a 2-for-1 special because Joe also knows that with no LeBron on the team, that also means there's going to be no Bronny as well.
Yes, but he's
gonna
be here in Vegas.
If Joe was Rob Pelinka, the second LeBron left the Lakers, Bronny James would be out there quicker than the alien was in Aliens when he sucked him into the space. That's what Joe would do to Bronny James.
Void of space. There you go.
Yeah, that's what Joe would do to Bronny James' contract.
The problem is he's signed for 3 years, so even if LeBron leaves next year,
it's really only for $1.5 million, $1.7 million.
It could be easy enough to move.
Man, this is making me want to watch the murder scene of Alex Murphy and RoboCop now, just to get my head out of this.
There you go. And on that note, it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back with regular episodes throughout the offseason. We'll be back throughout.
No one knows what the hell I'm talking about.
No. But, thank you for joining us. Please
My
like and subscribe.
second favorite action movie of all time is RoboCop, the first one.
It's a good movie.
First one is Predator.
You'll buy that for $1. Yes. So then, on that note, thank you again for joining us.
I gotta play a villain like Kurtwood Smith in that. Clarence Boddicker. That's gotta be a role for me down the road somewhere. Something like that, man. Oh my god.
Talk to your agent, man.
I can't. I gotta do a role like that one. I don't give a shit what I do for free for that one.
Now you got to do it for the scale. So.
Scale, I know. If I am obviously if I'm SAG,
SAG would be like,
oh man,
man.
Sean could be the guy that gets acid spilled on him. Not get acid spilled on Sean, but he'd play that character because I like that character too. Sean, you've seen RoboCop, right? Are you wearing a nose ring? Oh no, that's my screen. Sorry. Sorry.
Please like and subscribe.
Dean, Dean, where are you? You're not in California?
Joe, did you take a little bit of Grandpa's cough medicine?
Not really. Actually, I'm actually tired, but I gotta go do some stuff before I sleep.
Hey, you take a little bit of Grandpa's cough medicine.
Thank you.
What's
thank
that?
you, Sam. Yeah,
you shut up,
you pumpkin head freak.
You shut up.
You shut the hell up if you know it's good for you, buddy.
Well, if you guys keep tuning in, we'll keep providing shows for
Long
you.
Beach. Yes. The LBC.
There you go.
I'm going to be there in a couple of weeks.
Killed a diabetic horse and went to jail for it.
Oh, my God. That was hilarious. It's funny. We just talked about weed. I didn't
know the horse is diabetic.
We just talked about weed, right? We just talked about weed and how bad it is. But the hilarious part about that is some of the best comedies that I love are all weed movies. Half Baked, the Kumar movies, right? All of them, all three of them. I'm like, what a hypocrite. I love the movies, but I hate it in real life. Yeah, guys, Dodgers season is still early. So we're going to still be talking sports. It's just we're going to be talking about the other LA team. But we'll be talking LA Lakers too because this is big off, it's a first step of the next big off season for the Lakers to see how they can build the next championship team. So I'll shut the hell up finally and let Gerald close out the show. Sorry, Gerald.
No, anyway, thanks again for joining us. Another great season comes to an end, but we will be back with many more episodes during the off season. Joe Sorrell Experiment, Lakers Fast Break, like and subscribe. Lakers Corner, he's going to be doing some stuff as well. Big shout out to Magic Man, big shout out to Joe, big shout out to John, and big shout out to most of all you out there. No matter how much you hate us, you watched us. I mean, again, I'll say again, if you hate us so much and you hate our opinions and you hate us as far as whatever we say or do or talk about or Luca or all that stuff that you guys talk about, then how were you watching us all season long? So if you did, thank you, no matter how much you hate us. Or if you love us, that's even better. But thank you so much for watching us all season long. We'll continue with great shows all summer long right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Go Lakers.
Oh, perfect song. They hate us because they ain't us.
I wonder what Doomer's mom is going to say if she ever finds out about it.
She's probably like, when can I come back for more?